And nice to have you on Morning Scramble this morning. Thank you so much for being our audience. Special treats today. We have Brett Stewart on. Nice to have you on, Brett.
Thank you for having me.
You have many different titles. We're going to start out with just the first thing that you're doing, a family fun mud run.
Absolutely.
All right, I've heard of mud wrestling. I've not heard of mud runs before.
Well, there's some similarities, but not that many. The mud, definitely a similarity.
You're going to get dirty.
Yes, you're absolutely going to get dirty. Well, so these mud runs, you know, they're really, they're a very good excuse to get dirty, but they're really based around fitness. You've got obstacles to get over. You really need to get, it's a run. You've got to get from one point to the other, from the start to the finish. And we, as the people who build the courses, get to put things in your way. So of those things we've got slip and slides, climbing walls, mud pits, more mud pits, you know, dirt to climb up, over, through, pipes, tubes. It's a blast. So for somebody that's creating the race, we get to have so much fun putting the obstacles in your way. For the people that are doing the race, it's just a blast. And this one in particular is really interesting because it's very, very family friendly. We actually allow kids 4 and up with their parents, 12 without their parents. But every obstacle that I put out there, I've let my little 5-year-old daughter do. So
everyone, because I thought you had different courses for different ages.
Absolutely. Usually that's the case. Okay. With this race, it's not. This race is one course that's built to accommodate everyone. And the neat thing when you're building these is the small obstacles are fun and easy for kids, but they're also a little bit challenging for adults, especially crawling through things. Things that are going to force you to get down to the ground are hard on adults and really simple for kids. But all of the things that require climbing are pretty small. Our biggest walls are 6-foot walls, and they're actually supported with cargo nets, so they're very easy to climb.
Nice. Okay, now tell us where this is.
Yeah, it's on a beautiful little farm. It's called Vertuccio Farms. It's in Mesa, Arizona. It's right on South Power Road, and it's a great farm. They do a lot of family events there throughout the year. They've got pumpkin picking and corn mazes and everything. So this area where the course is actually 7 acres where they usually have the corn maze. So we had a wonderful guy come in and build a supercross course, essentially. That's usually made for, you know, for cars and motorcycles. And we built this up, and it's we're going to flood it and make it muddy. It's going to be an amazing race.
First time. This is the first time they've done the mud run.
Correct. Yeah, we just built this course for the first time. We actually just finished it. You see the video here. It was a little bit dry when I was out there this past weekend. Now we're adding all the mud. We've even added some more obstacles. And yeah, we're going to get it nice and wet on Friday. Friday, we've got a special event. We're doing a free entry for veterans. So those that have served are available to come through from noon to 5. And then the real race, Saturday and Sunday, and you see it right there, the 22nd and 23rd, from 9 a.m. to about 4 p.m.
Okay, I'm guessing that the veterans have done some of these things before. I've seen those in movies where they go up over the walls and
I would think that's probably a little bit more challenging. I mean, I'll say it's definitely a lot more challenging than what we have here. This is fun. And one of the other neat things is this is also very, very spectator friendly. With the way we built the course and we laid it out, there's an entire lane right down the middle, so spectators can watch their friends and family on both sides. So you're never too far removed. During the entire thing, you can see your kids.
Them getting dirty and running.
Oh, you can laugh at them. Oh yeah.
Nobody's going to get lost in the mud.
Oh no, not at all. We've got a whole slate of volunteers helping out. I'll actually, you saw in the video there, standing on the first slip and slide. I'll be up there. And that's something very interesting. We start the race with a slip and slide. This is kind of something you can only get away with in a family-friendly race like this, because normally you'd let a whole bunch of people go at once. Well, this is more of a trickle start. There's a party pit at the beginning where you get muddy and you climb up to the top of the slip and slide, and I'm actually going to be letting people go one at a time to start the race.
So this is the clean part of the race, where you go down the water and then you hit the mud.
Well, there's mud before the water, so there's no point that's clean. When you get out of your car, you're going to be clean. When you go back to your car, you're not going to be.
Well, that was kind of my question. After you do this whole mud run, how do you clean up too?
We've got showers that are available, hosed
Like
to
at the
rinse you off.
beach, you've got things where you can kind
Maybe
of hose
a little
off.
bit. Some beaches are a little
rougher.
bit nicer for that, but
You're just
but yeah.
gonna hose them down.
Well, it's up to you.
How
We'll
deep
provide
is
the
the
hose.
mud? I mean, are you wading through this? Or
Well, that's the other thing. Because we're going to have small kids there, the mud is just about knee high. So when you're actually crawling through the mud, it's elbow, knee high. It's nothing really deep. There's no dangerous areas where you have to worry about anyone being underwater at all. There's no forced submersions or any of that
have
stuff.
you done this kind of thing before?
Oh yeah,
Brett?
I love these things. Actually, the reason I got into this is it must be 2 years ago. I started writing Ultimate Obstacle Race Training, which was actually the first book on these events. And I did a lot of research, and I got to go out and take part in all these races. I've done hundreds of different races, from triathlons to marathons, and obstacle races, which were just the next progression. They are a blast.
Well, it sounds fun. I mean, as a kid, there's just something about the mud that makes it really fun.
It's a magnet.
Yeah, it's just squishy. Just to feel it come through your toes is nice. I'm guessing this will just be so fun because we don't have much excuse in our everyday lives to get really down and dirty like this.
That is the perfect statement, because it's so true. It's a primal part of getting muddy and just having fun with your friends.
Yeah.
It's
and then cleaning up is always so fun. It feels so good to get clean again. After all the mud.
It does take a little while, though.
All right, now you mentioned some books that you have written.
Yeah.
Now, you didn't used to be so slim and svelte as you are now. You were a little bit fluffy.
I was actually, I was probably 60 pounds, well, I definitely was 65 pounds overweight. I used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day. Yeah, I wasn't
bad.
I wasn't quite the fit guy that I am. And interestingly enough, fast forward to 2010, well, I guess 2014 we'll say, I've written 15 different fitness books. So it's a really
What in the world
huge paradigm
happened?
shift.
What happened, Brett?
Really, honestly, this sounds like a love story, but I met my wife. Really, my wife helped me turn it all around. Just having a real positive influence in my life made a huge difference.
But she fell in love with you when you were chubby.
She did, I know. I saw my wedding, it really was, when we got home from, beautiful, beautiful wife. I get home from my wedding and I'm looking at the pictures and she looks great and I looked a little like the Pillsbury Doughboy, and I was so upset with myself because I wasn't gonna get a chance to do that all over again. So I said, you know what, the next time we're taking pictures together, I'm going to look a lot better.
So how'd you start? What'd you do?
Oh, I didn't know what I was doing. That's the funny, that's one of the things I try to do with my books. Everything has an intro program. Getting fit is hard. Learning how to eat is hard to do if you don't know what you're doing. If you're shooting in the dark, your results will vary. I didn't know what I was doing for the first year or so. And I worked with a trainer, really good friend of mine at ESPN, that dialed me in to fitness, really helped me with my nutritional regimen and exercise. And a lot of the stuff that he helped me, oh boy, this is 7, 8 years ago, 9 years ago. But a lot of the stuff that he helped me with has gone into all of my books.
Well, and you have a bunch. You have 7 weeks to get ripped, 7 weeks to triathlon, 7 weeks to 10 pounds of muscle, 7 weeks to, a series there, ultimate obstacle race training you talked about, ultimate jump rope workouts. Yep. I love that when you're a kid.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Jumping rope.
And it's harder than you think. The photo shoot for that book was one of the hardest workouts I've ever had in my life, because you don't realize how slow. I'd have to go really slow with the rope, otherwise the camera couldn't catch it. And so I would.
Sometimes you have to talk at the same time.
Over and over. Yeah, it was a little bit nuts. One book that I particularly love, if you want to grab this one on the top. Now, I love this book for a bunch of different reasons. It was a lot of fun to write. I got to work with my best friend on it. But my favorite part about this is my wife is one of the models in the book. Oh. So you want to talk about really coming.
And she stayed slim and svelte the whole time.
She's awesome. But one of the things that was nice is to be able to come full circle. Really to do something that I love, and then to bring my wife into it. Should I say this? I'm even getting her into doing mud runs too. So.
Oh, no kidding. No, I don't think it would take much convincing. It should be fun. So, does she like the new Slim You? I mean, this has been going on, of course, for a few years.
No, she's not really happy with me at all.
She's going, why could you not start smoking and be choppy again?
Yeah. She wouldn't like that very much.
Is it hard to maintain once you get going with this stuff?
That's the funny part. I thought that it would be very, very difficult. Now, maintaining, this is so strange to say. I never thought I'd be the guy to say make this next phrase. But maintaining model shape, you know, what I'm in for the books.
Because you
that's,
are a
that's
model,
tough.
yes,
Oh,
a
please.
sports model.
But that's just funny to say. But that's really difficult. You know, maintaining a really perfect physique for being on camera is completely separate than being fit for everyday life and, you know, being fit for events. But it's really not difficult. I love to eat. I had a fantastic meal up here in Prescott last night. But you know, it's everything in moderation.
But you're burning all the calories off.
Yeah.
Then the next day, and I mean, you've got weights, you have all kinds of things going on. It looks to me like you've kind of become a fitness fanatic. Did you turn this into a positive addiction? Or
I think so. I think there's definitely been times where I was a little bit overboard when it came to, there absolutely positively were times when I was a lot overboard when it came to this. All of my coworkers, you know, throughout the last decade, you know, pretty much got annoyed with me that I would be, you know, the one that was motivating them into, you know, into fitness or triathlon or anything else. But that was how we started a triathlon team at ESPN. That's how I started a race company out here, and kind of pestering to motivate my friends.
Well, I think that's absolutely amazing. Okay, and well, I have to say you are American Ninja Warrior. You were in that competition. I mean, unfortunately we're out of time, but that sounds really, really heavy.
Well, just my submission is in. I'm not in the contest yet. But I've got some very good friends
All kinds of obstacles in that, I'm sure.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Brett Stewart, there's a big mud run coming up. Tell us one more time. It's this weekend.
Absolutely. Saturday and Sunday, February 22nd and 23rd, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's my motocross voice, I think. Is this mud run? It's in Mesa, Arizona, on South Power Road, and it's farmfunmudrun.com.
All right, for the whole family, lots of fun.
Absolutely.
And they can find your books as well. Tons of books, great fitness books. I think we have that on the screen, so you can get those too. Brett Stewart, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.